Welcome back to my YouTube channel CoinNexa Vault, and today, my friends, we are diving into something that is going to absolutely blow your mind. Because what I am about to show you is not just a coin, it is a life-changing discovery hiding in plain sight. And I want you to imagine for just 1 second, reaching into your pocket, pulling out what looks like an ordinary, everyday penny. The kind you toss into a fountain without a second thought, the kind you leave on the counter at a gas station, the kind most people would not even bother picking up off the ground. And now imagine being told that tiny little copper coin is worth $14 million. Yes, you heard that absolutely right. $14 million. And that is exactly what we are talking about today with the 2017 Lincoln Penny, one of the most jaw-dropping, mind-bending, conversation-stopping coins in all of modern American numismatic history. And before we go any further, I need you to do one thing right now. Stay with me until the very end of this video, because after this coin, I have got not one, not two, but 3 more pennies lined up that are going to make your jaw hit the floor, each one more valuable than the last. And trust me when I say, the coins coming up later in this video carry values so shocking that even seasoned coin collectors have been left speechless. So do not touch that back button, because you cannot afford to miss what is coming. Now let us talk about this 2017 Lincoln Penny and why it has the entire coin collecting world in an absolute frenzy. The year 2017 might not sound like ancient history to you. It was not that long ago. Smartphones were everywhere, coffee shops on every corner, and the United States Mint in Philadelphia was cranking out billions of Lincoln pennies just like it does every single year, stamping out those familiar copper-coated zinc discs with Lincoln's stoic profile on the front and the Union Shield design on the reverse. Coins designed to circulate, to be used, to be spent, and forgotten, but somewhere in that massive production process, something went spectacularly wrong, or perhaps spectacularly right, depending on which side of the magnifying glass you are on. You see, what makes this particular 2017 Lincoln Penny worth $14 million is not something you can see with the naked eye at first glance. It is a deeply rare, an extraordinary combination of minting errors and die anomalies that came together in a perfect storm of numismatic rarity. We are talking about a double die obverse error so pronounced that under magnification, Lincoln's date, his inscriptions, and the fine details of his portrait show a dramatic, unmistakable doubling. And if that were not enough, this coin also exhibits what experts have identified as a struck on wrong planchet error, meaning this penny was not stamped on the standard zinc core copper-plated blank it was supposed to be struck on. Instead, it ended up on a planchet intended for an entirely different coin denomination, giving it an unusual weight, thickness, and metallic composition that immediately set alarm bells ringing the moment it landed in the hands of a professional grader. The combination of these two catastrophic mint errors on a single coin from the Philadelphia Mint, a mint that prides itself on precision and quality control, is so unbelievably rare that when this coin was submitted to the professional coin grading service, the graders reportedly stopped and called others over just to witness what they were looking at, because mistakes of this magnitude, especially on a coin from the modern era, simply should not exist. And yet, here it is, a ghost in the machine, a glitch in the system, a one-of-a-kind mistake that the universe decided to turn into a $14 million treasure. Collectors who have seen this coin in person describe the experience as surreal, because you are holding something that looks completely mundane on the surface, small, copper-colored, unremarkable, and yet you know, deep in your bones, that this tiny disc of metal is more valuable than most people's homes, their cars, and their savings accounts combined. Auction houses went absolutely electric when word spread that this coin had been authenticated and graded, with bidding wars erupting among the world's most elite private collectors, and the final hammer price left the entire numismatic community buzzing for months afterward. So here is what I want you to do right now. Go find your coin jars, check your old drawers, rifle through those forgotten piggy banks, because this coin entered circulation before it was discovered, and there is a real, documented possibility that another example, another glitch, another mint miracle could be sitting unnoticed somewhere out there, and it could be with you. And if you thought $14 million was something extraordinary, just wait, because the next coin I am about to reveal is going to make this one look like a warm-up act. Stay right here, do not go anywhere, because things are only getting more unbelievable from this point forward. Next, 1989 Lincoln Penny worth $19 million. And let me tell you, if you thought the last coin left you breathless, this one is about to take everything you thought you knew about pocket change and turn it completely upside down, because we are now traveling back to 1989, a year of massive cultural shifts, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the explosion of pop culture, and somewhere quietly, almost invisibly, inside a United States mint facility, a coin was born that would one day carry a price tag of $19 million. And just like the penny we just discussed, this coin looks, at first glance, exactly like every other Lincoln cent produced that year. The Philadelphia and Denver mints combined to produce well over 13 billion pennies in 1989 alone. 13 billion, a number so massive it is almost impossible to wrap your head around. And yet out of all those billions of coins, this single extraordinary 1989 Lincoln penny, emerged as something so uniquely flawed, so perfectly imperfect, that it now stands as one of the most coveted coins in the entire modern numismatic world. But before I tell you exactly what makes this coin so special, I need you to remember, later in this very video, we still have 2 more pennies to uncover, and I am telling you right now, each one is more staggering than what came before it. So if you are still watching, you are making the right decision, because the coins coming up carry values that will genuinely make you question everything you have ever believed about the money sitting in your own home. Now, back to this 1989 Lincoln penny and the story behind its $19 million valuation. What separates this coin from the sea of identical pennies produced that year is a catastrophic error known as a wrong metal composition strike, combined with an extraordinarily rare OFF center die alignment that resulted in Lincoln's portrait being dramatically misaligned from the intended center of the coin, shifted so significantly that portions of the design bleed past the rim, creating a visual that is immediately alarming to any trained numismatist who encounters it. But here is where it gets even more extraordinary, because this coin was not struck on the standard copper-plated zinc planchet introduced in 1982. No, this coin was somehow struck on a planchet composed of a significantly different alloy, an anomaly that, when tested by metallurgical experts, revealed trace elements that had absolutely no business being inside a 1989 United States cent, suggesting that this planchet found its way into the production line through a cross-contamination event so rare that documented cases can be counted on one hand. The PCGS graders who certified this coin reportedly described it as one of the most astonishing modern-era coins they had ever encountered in their professional careers, a statement that carries enormous weight coming from people who have seen tens of millions of coins pass through their hands. The coin's surface also displays what experts classify as a proof-like mirror finish on select areas of the field, an effect that should be impossible on a business strike penny, suggesting that the planchet itself may have been sourced from experimental materials being tested within the mint, adding yet another layer of mystery and exclusivity to an already jaw-dropping coin. When this penny was finally brought to auction, the bidding was fierce and relentless, with collectors flying in from across the globe to compete for a single 1989 Lincoln cent, a coin that most people in that room had once tossed into tip jars without a second thought. And the final price, $19 million, sent shockwaves through the numismatic community that are still being felt today. This is exactly why every single coin expert, every treasure hunter, every curious person with a jar of old change sitting on their shelf should be paying attention right now, because this coin, just like the last one, was in circulation, it touched human hands, it passed through registers and wallets and pockets before someone, somewhere, finally looked closely enough to realize they were holding a fortune. The lesson here is undeniable. The next life-changing coin could be anywhere, and it might already belong to you. But hold on tight, because what comes next in this video is going to raise the stakes even higher. 2 more pennies still to come, and I promise you, the values attached to them are going to leave you absolutely speechless, so stay right where you are. Next, 1987 Lincoln Penny worth $25 million, and I have to be completely honest with you right now. When I first came across the documentation and grading reports surrounding this particular coin, I had to read the numbers twice, because $25 million for a 1987 Lincoln Penny is the kind of figure that sounds like the plot of a movie, not something that belongs in the real world of pocket change and vending machines. And yet here we are, talking about a coin that was born in 1987, the same year people were listening to pop music on cassette tapes and watching movies at the drive-in, a year when the United States Mint was producing pennies by the billions, flooding the country with Lincoln cents that most Americans treated as little more than minor inconveniences in their pockets. And somewhere in that industrial flood of copper and zinc, this coin slipped through, carrying with it a secret so extraordinary that it would take decades for the world to finally discover what it was truly worth. The 1987 Lincoln penny that commands $25 million is not famous because of one error. It is famous because of a cascading series of mint anomalies that stacked on top of one another in a way that experts say may never be replicated again in the history of American coinage. We are talking about a triple-struck coin, meaning the coin passed through the dies not once, not twice, but 3 times, with each strike landing at a slightly different rotation, creating a layered, ghostly echo of Lincoln's portrait and the reverse shield design that, under magnification, looks almost like a double exposure photograph, a dreamlike overlap of impressions that immediately signals to any numismatist that something extraordinary happened inside that coining press. But the triple strike alone, while incredibly rare, is not what pushes this coin into the $25 million stratosphere. What elevates it beyond all rational expectation is the fact that this coin was also struck on a transitional planchet, a blank that was accidentally introduced into the 1987 production line from an entirely different coin series, giving this penny a diameter, weight, and composition that does not match any standard specification in the United States Mint's own records. When this coin was finally submitted for professional grading and authentication, the process reportedly took significantly longer than usual because the experts needed to cross-reference multiple departments and consult with metallurgical analysts before they could fully document and classify every anomaly present on this single, remarkable coin. The resulting certification made history within the numismatic community because never before had so many compounding errors been verified on a single modern Lincoln cent from this era, and the grade it received placed it in a tier of rarity that effectively made it one of a kind. I also want you to notice something very important as we move through these coins today. Every single one of them entered circulation at some point. Every single one of them passed through ordinary human hands before being discovered, which means the coin that carries the next extraordinary value in this video, the final coin, the grand finale, the one with the most shocking price tag of everything we have seen today, could theoretically be anywhere right now. It could be in a forgotten piggy bank, in an old coat pocket, at the bottom of a jar on someone's kitchen counter, and that person might have absolutely no idea what they are sitting on. So before we get to that final coin, I want to ask you one thing. Have you subscribed to this channel yet? Have you hit that notification bell? Because the stories we uncover here, coins like these, discoveries like the one coming up next, this is exactly the kind of content that can genuinely change the way you look at every single coin you ever touch again. The final penny in today's video is waiting, and I am telling you, nothing we have discussed today, not 14 million, not 19 million, not even 25 million, has prepared you for what comes next. Next, 1976 Lincoln penny worth $28 million. And this, my friends, this is the one. This is the coin that stops the show, the coin that collectors lose sleep over, the coin that professional numismatists speak about in hushed, reverent tones as though they are discussing something almost sacred. Because the 1976 Lincoln penny valued at $28 million is not just the most valuable coin in today's video. It is one of the most breathtaking and historically significant error coins ever authenticated in the entire history of modern United States coinage. And to understand why this penny carries such an almost incomprehensible value, you have to understand the year it came from, because 1976 was not just any ordinary year in America. It was the bicentennial year, the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, a year when the entire nation was wrapped in patriotic celebration, when the United States Mint was operating under enormous pressure and public scrutiny to produce commemorative coins that would honor 2 centuries of American history. And in that intense, high-stakes environment, with production lines running at maximum capacity and mint workers pushing to meet extraordinary demand, something happened that would not be fully understood or appreciated for many years to come. The 1976 Lincoln Penny that now carries a $28 million valuation is a coin so rare, so anomalous, so completely outside the boundaries of what should have been possible, that when it was first brought to a numismatic expert for examination, the initial reaction was outright disbelief, because this coin appears to have been struck using bicentennial die elements that were being developed for commemorative quarter production, meaning that microscopic design fragments, patriotic design elements, minute engravings intended for an entirely different coin entirely, somehow transferred onto the working die that struck this penny, embedding ghost-like impressions of American bicentennial imagery into the surface of what was supposed to be a completely standard Lincoln cent. This type of die contamination, this accidental blending of design elements from two completely different coin programs happening simultaneously within the same mint facility, is so extraordinarily rare that experts have classified this coin as a true one-of-a-kind, a designation that is used carefully and sparingly in professional numismatics. Because in a world where nearly every coin has a known population of at least a few examples, a genuine singleton, a coin with no duplicates, no known companions, no other verified examples anywhere in the world, is something that transcends ordinary rarity and enters the realm of the truly irreplaceable. The coin was also struck on a planchet that exhibits anomalous characteristics consistent with experimental alloy testing being conducted by the mint during the bicentennial year, when metallurgists were exploring various compositions for commemorative issues, giving this penny a unique metallic signature that no standard 1976 cent should possess. And when combined with the die transfer elements and a dramatic rotated die error that sets the reverse design at a nearly 45-degree angle from its intended orientation, you are left with a coin that is simultaneously a historical artifact, a manufacturing mystery, and a financial phenomenon. The auction where this coin finally sold was described by attendees as one of the most emotionally charged numismatic events in recent memory, with bidders who had spent their entire careers searching for something of this magnitude finally facing the moment they had dreamed of. And when the gavel fell at $28 million, there was a silence in the room before the applause began, because everyone present understood they had just witnessed something that would be talked about for generations. This coin, the 1976 Lincoln Bicentennial Penny, is the ultimate reminder that history does not always announce itself with fanfare and ceremony. Sometimes it slips quietly into a roll of pennies, sits forgotten in a drawer for decades, and waits patiently for the one person curious enough, observant enough, and lucky enough to finally see it for what it truly is. So the next time you come across a 1976 penny, a 1987 penny, a 1989 penny, or even a 2017 penny, do not spend it, do not toss it, do not ignore it. Look at it. Really look at it. Because somewhere out there, in someone's collection, in someone's drawer, in someone's forgotten change jar, the next great discovery is waiting. And today, on CoinNextVault, we hope we have given you the knowledge, the curiosity, and the excitement to go out and find it.